everybody want to have a stronger immune system because no one want to spend a week or couple of week in bed with fever, body pain, sore throat, or fatigue or brain fog, because that either going to affect their job or it is going to affect their efficiency and productivity. And because of that, people now are constantly searching for that next immune boosting supplements, injections, IV drip, or miracle biohack. In fact, I myself have done that. If you look at this is what I was 3 years back. I was fighting with cancer. I diagnosed with cancer, and then chemo, then surgery, and I from 90 kg came to 48 kg. Now, if you see me like this, means I did that biohack. I've learned about peptides. I've learned about immune system, and I have improved that. Now I'm 40, but my biological age is 32. So that is possible. I'll be talking about that, and that's exactly the reason why I am able to talk about this. But the reality is, the strongest immune system are usually not built through the shortcuts. They are built through some fundamentals. So I'll be talking about this. So how from 48 kg, from surviving cancer, to I am here with this strong physique like I was before. And I did that biohack. So I'll be talking about that, and it's done through fundamentals. Of course, peptides are there, of course, supplements are there. And then, if necessary, beyond the fundamentals, you will be using these advanced tools, right? So today we are going to cover 5 science-backed foundations for immune resilience. So how you are going to do that biohacking is what I'll be discussing in this video. And then we will explore some of the most fascinating immune-related peptides that are currently being researched and why scientists are so excited about them. And these are the 5 peptides that actually I have used to improve my metabolism, to improve my visceral fat reduction, and to improve my energy, to improve my skin and everything. So let's start with the first one, the most powerful immune biohack. I told you first I'll start with fundamentals, then I'll move to the peptide world. Okay, so if I had to choose only one thing to improve my immunity, it would be probably sleep maximum, right? So not supplements, not injections, not peptides. It is the sleep. If I can sleep, I'm perfectly fine. If I'm sleeping better, I'm getting that energy. And the reason is, most people think sleep is passive, but sleep is actually one of the most active repair process in the human body. And when you sleep, your growth hormone is released, your tissue repair get accelerated, your immune cells will recover, and your inflammation decrease, and your memory consolidate. But something even more fascinating also happens. Your brain activate a waste clearance system that is called as glymphatic system. And think of it like, cleaning crew that only comes to work at night. Throughout the day, the waste product accumulate inside the brain. And during your deep sleep, these waste products are getting flushed out, right? So see, that is what I mean by good sleep will help you like this. But if it is a poor sleep, it means more inflammation, worse recovery, and reduced immune efficiency, and increased, susceptibility to illness also. So before buying any expensive supplements for improving your immune system, ask yourself, are you consistently getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep? Because if the answer for this is no, then whatever you do, that is not going to work out. That's where your immune optimization should start with the sleep. Okay, and then only the advanced tool is going to come. Second, the most important again, that's you have to fix your insulin resistance. And most people don't realize this. High blood sugar affect much more than the body fat. It affect the immune system also. And when blood sugar remain elevated for long periods, what happens is immune cells become less efficient, and your inflammation increases, your recovery progress will slow down, and your infection rise also rises. And one of the major inflammatory pathways involved is called as NFkappaB. Think of NFkappaB as the master switch for inflammation. You see, chronically elevated blood sugar that keeps this switch turned on always. And as a result, the body remains stuck in a low grade inflammatory state. And that creates a situation where the immune system is constantly getting distracted. So instead of responding to efficiency to threats, it's already busy fighting with the chronic inflammation. And that's why improving insulin sensitivity can dramatically improve your overall health. So you can use simple tools, right? Firstly, you can use weight loss is most important, and then go with resistance training and walking after the meals and intermittent fasting, reduced ultra processed foods and increased protein intake. All these, see, this will help you to have a healthy metabolism, and healthy metabolism is equal to healthier immunity. So that metabolism also, that later the advanced tools I'll discuss, but these are the fundamentals. Third one, exercise and lymphatic flow. See, most people understand exercise helps the heart. Fewer people realize it helps the immune system also. Now, why? Because your body produces a few fluid called lymph, right? So, and this lymph carries cellular waste, the toxins, the debris, the immune cells. Now, unlike the blood circulation, which has a heart as pump, there is something, right? Heart is pumping, but the lymphatic system has no such pump, and it depends upon the movement. And every time you walk, every time you lift weight or run or stretch or you contract your muscles, you are helping to move these limbs throughout the body. And when that happens, this basically improves the waste removal from your body, your immune surveillance and recovery and inflammation control. In simple terms, movement helps to clean the internal environment. So keep moving. And one more reason why regular exercise is one of the most powerful medicine is this one, right? Just keep moving. That help you to keep metabolism is also under control. It helps in waste removal. It helps in inflammation control also. And the next one, the most important immune support nutrients. Let's talk about supplements. There are thousands of supplements available, but if we are talking about immune support, right? Of course, the few that will stand out will be like, I'll start with vitamin D. Vitamin D is much more than a vitamin. It acts like a hormone. It influences your immune cell activation, gene expression, and inflammatory responses. So when you have low vitamin D levels, this is extremely, difficult. In fact, this is extremely common. If you're watching this video and you go and do the blood test, you will see low vitamin D. This is very common, and what we need is adequate vitamin D that can, repair your immune performance, that can improve your immune performance. So vitamin D is very important. So that's the first one that I want to discuss. And then comes zinc. Zinc is very much essential for immune cell development, immune signaling, viral defense, fight against the viruses. And many people use zinc, for short term during any illness. But excessive long-term supplementation can, you know, in fact, excessive long-term supplementation can create imbalances, but you can have a periodic use of zinc, right? Zinc is very important. Then vitamin C. Vitamin C is very good. Vitamin C support immune function through several mechanisms. One of the most important of that basically involves something called as the oxidative burst. An immune cell generate reactive oxygen species to destroy the pathogens, right? So vitamin C helps to support this process, while it also helping to limit the collateral damage to healthy tissues as well. So both way it is going to work out. And the next one is glutathione and NAC. Glutathione is often called the master antioxidant. People understand this as a skin whitening agent, but that's not the reality. It helps to protect cells from oxidative stress. And NAC is helping you to provide the building blocks which is needed to produce the glutathione. So healthy glutathione levels, if you have, that will support your recovery, that will support the detoxification and immune resilience. Our next is gut health. I would say gut health equal to immune health. One of the most important fact in immunology is this. A huge portion of the immune system is connected to your gut. Your digestive system constantly interactive with the food, your bacteria, viruses, environmental compounds. But when your gut health, if that getting compromised, what happens? Inflammation rise, immune regulation suffers, food sensitivities may increase. And this is why improving gut health often improve immune functions as well, right? So healthy gut practices, if you ask me, whole food, adequate fiber intake, fermented foods, right? And better sleep, of course, stress management. So see, the gut is not separate from the immune system. It's a major part of it. Having discussed these fundamental things and the supplements, now I know many of you want to know about the peptides that are changing the immune research, the peptides that I use to make a shift from my weak state to the stronger, much confident state, right? let's enter the fascinating world of peptides. And remember, these compounds are still under research. Many are investigational. And this discussion that I'm doing is for educational purpose. Let's start with TA1, thymosin alpha 1. If there is one immune peptide that has attracted serious scientific attention, that is thymosin alpha 1. Unlike a stimulant that simply boost your immunity, thymosin alpha 1 basically appears to act more like an immune regulator. So what you can do is you can think it as a thermostat. When the immune system is underperforming, it may help to improve coordination. And when the immune system become overactive, it may help to restore the balance. So researchers are what they are investigating is viral infections and immune dysfunctions and autoimmune conditions, cancer support. So it's a kind of dual action, dual effect, and that is one of the reasons why scientists doing more research upon this peptide. So very good one when it comes to immune system. Next is if there is a celebrity among the peptides, that is this one, BPC 157. Most people know BPC 157 for injury recovery, and this is the one peptide that helped me like anything to heal my injury also. Okay, so see this its immune implication may be equally interesting. Here we are talking about immune, use. So basically, there are research which are suggesting that it helps, gut integrity, blood vessel formation, tissue repair, because so much immune activity occurs within the gut, and any compound that actually improve the gut health naturally attract attention from the immune researchers. So BPC 157, it's not only that healing or injury recovery, it is also supporting your immune system. Then comes SS31. I'll also talk about MOTC later, but here let me talk about SS31 that directly fixes the problem. Mitochondria, right? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of your energy. Now, every immune response, you need energy, and mitochondria produce that energy. So SS31 is basically a mitochondrial peptide. MOTC also, but MOTC function is different. I'll be talking about that later. SS31 is mitochondrial peptide that has generated enormous scientific interest, and researchers are now investigating whether improving mitochondrial efficiency could improve cellular performance throughout the body. Of course, yes. The theory is very simple. Healthier mitochondria will support healthier immune responses. Look at myself. I've used SS31 to fix one problem, and I'm continuously using MOTC also. Both are mitochondrial peptides. Both functions are different also. Okay, now comes again one most important one for inflammation, that is KPV. KPV may be one of the most underrated peptides, I would say. But KPV, if you see, it's a tiny peptide fragment with strong anti-inflammatory potential. Researchers are again very much interested in its effect on the gut inflammation, skin inflammation, immune regulation, overall body inflammation. And why you get sick, why you get diseases is because of inflammation. So with this, you can control that. And one reason why scientists are excited about KPV is its ability to influence the NFkappaB, the same inflammatory pathway we discussed earlier in the beginning, if you remember. So in future, there will be studies and that can confirm, how KPV is going to, tackle all the inflammatory issues in our body. So see the mistakes that people do. Let me talk about that also. Apart from this, we have many other interesting peptides like TB500, GHK-Cu, growth hormone, ipamorelin, and all those. But in the context of immune system, this is what I wanted to discuss. This is just a beginning. We'll discuss further more, and we'll discuss what all I have used myself and what I'm giving it to my wife and my clients and my friends, and all those I'll be discussing in the upcoming session. But the mistake that most of the people make is they hear about the advanced peptides and immediately want to skip the basics. But what is the truth? No peptide can compensate the five things that I have discussed before. The poor sleep. If you have poor sleep, then there is no point. Insulin resistance, inactivity. If you're not moving, there is of no use. Chronic stress, nutrient deficiencies. The strongest immune system is built on foundation. So you need to have this foundation. And peptides will be tools which can enhance that foundation which you already have, and they cannot replace that. So if you want a resilient immune system, focus first on your sleep, deep sleep, 7 to 9 hours of sleep, healthy metabolism, right? Regular exercise, keep moving. Your gut health need to be improved, and important nutrients like protein, fiber, everything, right? And then as science evolves, keep an eye on the emerging research which are related to thymosin alpha 1, BPC 157, MOTS or SS31, KPV, because these compounds that may represent the next frontier of the immune medicine. But remember, the goal is not simply avoiding illness. The goal is building a body that can recover faster, that can perform better, that can age healthier and gracefully, and remain resilient for decades to come. And that journey always starts with the fundamentals before these tools or the biohacks. So let's see in the next video. Thank you so much.